Previously on the blood-soaked rose.
Aurelius has just completed the ritual of hydromancy and saw a vision of Rasine.
I've managed to negotiate a different deal with the coroner.
Hopefully we can survive till the morning to see it through.
A warm meal, a nice bed, some pleasant company, unless you have leads.
We'll see how the night goes.
There's a growing edge to the atmosphere of the city.
I will let 45 of my savings go for a nice meal.
There's a quiet understanding of the night before something big.
Bryok stays in the inn. There's no empathy for the elves in this room.
Once I leave, I will forget these four walls. I will forget this bed. I will forget you. And I will have to be Aurelius.
Only needs to look outside to know that there are his brothers and sisters dying in the cold.
Rasine is in the crypts.
Well, shall we?
We must.
And now...
Good O. Just so that you're aware, Phil, I'm bringing quite a lot of stuff.
Tell me, not just I'm aware. Let
Yeah.
the audience be aware too.
And Sean!
Yeah.
And sure, what are you like? Are you trying to fit your cart down
No,
there?
no.
How high is your backpack
That's
loaded?
right.
Are you...
Not too bad. So obviously, I'm carrying my bow and arrows.
I mean, that is kind of obvious.
With my bow sheath.
Yes.
Got my chain helmet, armor on my person, light armor on my body, and some metal greaves on the legs to bolster those. Also got some rations, just in case we're stuck down there.
Stuck, yeah, could happen.
Got some rope.
Yep.
Always need rope. Got a flint and steel, 4 torches. Grab myself the tarp, pull that down. Always
it
need
up.
a tarp.
Stick in
That's
the
not
back.
bad. I've got myself water skin. Grab some candles. Always need candles. And I've grabbed a lantern as well.
Right.
Just in case.
Okay, so it's pretty
I'm also
heavy.
taking 2 Witcher swords.
Okay. Are you encumbered? Have you totaled that up?
I have totaled that up.
Yeah.
I'm not encumbered.
Oh, great.
You're used to hauling stuff around.
You know how to pack things.
Not only do I know how to pack things,
A lot of that stuff isn't bulky as well.
You're a
Flint,
strong boy.
I have a body of 7.
Nice.
There you go.
So I'm pretty ripped.
Flint and steel.
Yeah,
torches. They're bits of
water,
wood.
yeah,
and
honestly,
and pitch
candles.
and stuff.
They're more bulky, and
Yeah.
that's what the tarp is for.
Yeah.
I'm fashioning it into a sack.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I've got the leather carry case for the swords, and the bow and arrows can sit on my person along with the armor.
Perfect.
For those wondering, Gamarian here, body of 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's of that ilk.
Is that stock? Yeah. Just
we're both ripped.
I'm a mage.
Yeah.
Oh god.
He's a 6 foot tall, middle-aged mage that was
Jacked.
from sturdier folk.
So you're gonna begin your search tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Excellent. An awareness check, perhaps.
No worries.
Or some alternative, if you can think of one, to find a likely entrance.
I don't think so. I mean, streetwise doesn't seem quite right, does
Neither
it?
does deduction.
So, yeah, awareness, I think,
awareness,
is
yeah.
pretty apt.
That's another 16 for Aurelius.
And a 15 for me.
So you roughly find about the same time. So the cloisters that are nearby the hospital are now abandoned. The Order of the Flaming Rose has long been kicked out of Temeria.
I'm going to ask the dumb question of the season. I don't know what a cloister is.
Oh, a cloister is where monks used to hang out.
Oh.
Where they cloister themselves away to study.
So it's usually covered walkways and lots of individual cells.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So for a
Well-
while it was taken over by the Flaming Rose. That's where they had their main base of operations, headed up by Siegfried. But after the Vizima uprising, they also tried to do a coup at the same time. They used it to kind of instigate their grab for power, and they were subsequently kicked out. So since then, it has gone abandoned. And skulking through here, you find a doorway-sized...
Oh, more you know. Sorry,
okay.
I've just been given visual representation from Chris. seen in many a movies.
Yes.
It's like a uni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
University.
like an old school campus.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Dope.
Or,
Okay.
or a place of study.
So you find yourself in there, and there are people who are camped out in here and are huddled in various corners taking shelter here. But a cursory look through the grounds, you find a portal of a normal doorway sized with worn steps leading into darkness. But that is covered by a old iron grate locked by an equally old-looking padlock.
Aurelius, as we enter there as well, he'll definitely don his hood over his head, partially to stay out of the prying eyes of others, but also just the bitter cold. It's really starting to nip him behind the ears as we kind of head and find ourselves before this clearly usable doorway. Bryok, you wouldn't happen to have anything within that sack of yours that would be of any use, would you?
In terms of picking a lock, sir?
Yes,
Not really.
please. No, sir.
Oh, sorry, Aurelius. Not really. I could tie a rope and we could pull. It's pretty old.
Too right. He wouldn't say too right, but Sean says it anyway.
Who right?
Well, let's give it a shot.
Very good, sir.
Yeah.
Let me just... And he'll strike the lantern and set it down so that we've got a bit of light.
Great.
But not obviously like a torch that it throws light everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's and
It's
you can
direct-
and you can cover it as well.
Directional. Directorial. Directional.
And if that's what as Bryok is doing this, Aurelius will try to keep aware of their surroundings, see if anyone's particularly beginning to watch them or to keep track of them.
Awareness.
Shouldn't use this dice anymore. That's going to be a hot 13.
Not that you know of.
Yeah,
no,
great.
No.
Cool. Pulling time.
Yep. So you're gonna wind a lock, some rope through there and twist, or
Yeah, so the plan is to rattle the grate, see if there's a loose point. Is the loose point the hinges?
Yes.
Or is the loose point the lock?
the hinges are pretty worn down. Giving it a good rattle, you're like, it's probably weaker at the hinges
Yeah.
than
Just
it
take
is
the whole
around the
damn
lock.
thing off instead, yeah.
Great. So to that end, we'll loop it a couple of times around the hinge points and try and like tighten so that they'll pull together.
Yep.
And up, ideally.
You can give me some body rolls,
We'll assist each other.
Sorry, body rolls? Okay.
or would you like to use athletics or something? I figure because you're just brute forcing it, right?
I was for listeners. I was doing I was doing body rolls.
You were rolling your shoulders.
Yeah.
Almost truffle shuffle.
Yeah. I can't dance. Just body.
Just physique
Yeah.
or
Physique or endurance?
Yeah,
the
physique.
physique and endurance.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
two body
Physique.
skills.
It's a physique, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
So I
wanna work
forgot that
together?
there's a physique.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, pull.
Well, I'm too concerned about the prying eyes of others, and I get a hot 10.
I got a 12.
Well,
It's slippery on the floor, says Bryok under his breath. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's
all right. I'd rather not have to sit here doing this all night, but it's our way in.
Of course it's
Too many more failures and you'll start to kind of fatigue.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
or just lose stamina,
No,
right?
don't use that die, Sean.
Stamina would be what I would go for. Yeah, that is a good heads up. Yeah, I was like, how can
How can I hurt you?
I hurt you for? How can I keep the story going, but also punish you for your failure?
It's DM brain.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
it's good. A good extra resource to have.
Aurelius got a 17 this time.
Hey, I got 11.
Yeah. Okay,
So worse for me, but better for you.
Otherwise, yeah. How we do?
with a creaking and tearing that seems to echo all too loudly off the stone cloisters. You do free the door from its hinges and pull it down. You're both going to lose 2 stamina for the night. It's not a huge expense. Didn't take you that long.
I know.
But
Might cost us later.
It might cost you later. A couple
Yeah.
of stamina here or there could cost you.
Absolutely.
Nothing you can't get back without a rest later
That's
on.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or
it
just a
does-
recovery action if we ever find our
Are you
need
taking that off us for the night?
for the night. Yeah.
So even if we recover, it'll still come.
it's
yeah.
a temporary, like it's a permanent thing for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yes, it's a temporary reduced maximum.
Yeah,
Maximum.
beautiful.
There
Cool.
you
Yeah.
go.
Happy
Dope.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aurelius winces as the sound echoes and reverberates Oh, that's one way to announce our entry.
Good work, sir. I mean, Aurelius. Excellent upper body strength.
He grimaces at the what he perceives to be a performance, but I'm not even going to roll for it. It's just at this point, it's just like I don't trust you.
All the years of obsequiousness are suddenly coming into clear view.
Yeah.
It's three. Well, you're talking about like finally getting an opportunity to be around like people and listen to them talk. Aurelius and Eve, so tight-lipped and like fervent in our goals, would have been the worst company.
I was mentioning it earlier. They're both powerful.
Yes.
Which means they orientate themselves very directly towards things.
Yeah.
They have certain personalities that don't allow for frivolity or distraction.
Yes.
Which is what I trade in.
Yes. Well, yeah, you're a good foil.
Yeah.
It's
almost as if I build a character entirely around that concept.
So he'll grab. We've got a lantern now.
Yeah.
So let's.
Would you like me in front, or would you like to take the lead on this, Aurelius?
I'll take the lead if that's all right with you.
Very good. I assumed as much. Here you are.
He'll take the lantern out of your grasp and heading down into the darkness below.
The inky depths, the mossy, musty smells of under the earth, the cool stone and the sound of distant drips echoing through the stones.
His boots clopping down each step, echoing, bouncing across the walls.
And the darkness seems to gather around you like a heavy mass, penetrated only by the lantern as you snake your way deeper underground. You got any... so either a wilderness survival or some sort of deduction to begin searching through the darkened catacombs and crypts.
Survival isn't a skill, is it?
Wilderness
survival is an intelligent skill.
Yep. So I'm kind of using it as a kind of tracking
perfect.
sense of direction.
So did you say wilderness or deduction?
Or deduction, yeah. You can work out, yes, this is a main chamber.
Yeah.
This would lead to another family chamber.
To kind of orientate ourselves of to
where exactly we've come into.
Yeah, and how the building kind of operates as a... Yeah.
Is this a front
passages.
entrance or is this a different entrance
Exactly.
entirely?
Yeah, and then you would
and
assume...
to not get turned around and
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
16 for Aurelius.
10.
Oh, gee, where are all your good rolls going?
He's saving them.
In business.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're not doing business here.
He's going to leave the city rich.
It's just good business.
That's right. So Aurelius, singular of purpose, keeps his wits about him and manages to keep... which did you use?
I used deduction.
So you, as you go into a chamber that is a dead end and owned by a certain family, you can kind of begin to build a mental map. Okay, this dead end's here, so we'll have to try these other passageways. And keeping your focus about you despite the dimness of the lantern, the impressiveness of the atmosphere, you keep a calm head about you and form a map in your mind of the passages that you have been down.
I feel like he'd also like find even with his his rondel, when they go into a room and they find a dead end, just on the opening of the door, like on the wall just inside, he'll just scrape a mark down each wall to signify we have been through here.
It's difficult to keep track of the time, but it's been possibly half an hour, 45 minutes before you spy on the ground as you turn a corner a faint glowing rune on the floor.
And he stops in front of it, lantern hanging over. Can he deduce what this particular rune is or what it may mean?
Magical training.
Oh, God. Magical training is intelligence, isn't it?
It is, yes. No, it's body.
I believe it's actually... No, it's
intelligence.
That is a 33.
It's a pathfinding rune. It's a the rune itself just means light.
Yeah.
So if you look into the near distance, another 20 paces,
There is light.
there's another one glowing from the floor just ahead.
He turns around to Bryok and appears we're getting closer. And he kind of steps aside to point to the rune on the ground. This is chaos. It was made by another that can produce chaos.
That is wonderful. I'm very glad that you are in your element here. I must admit and confess, I am not.
Courage roll. Self-induced.
Stop
from
it.
role-playing. from role-playing.
Crit 1
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
into a 5.
You superstitious at all?
And now,
You gain the derangement paranoia.
nice callback. Don't like being... No, I do actually like being on the other side of that as well. That's for a total of 5. Look,
Take -1 to your will.
sure.
You're afraid. You have not been able to keep track of where you are.
Yeah.
You can only trust that your companion does. He seems confident, but you yourself feel turned around. You're losing track of time, you've lost track of sense of direction, and you're wondering if you should be down here at all.
Phil,
Yes.
regarding minuses to attribute scores,
Yes.
do they immediately affect total pools? So like health points, because I would lose 5 health points or something like that.
Yep.
Yep.
I would say yep.
Okay.
Well, poo.
Body times will. Okay, here we go again.
I'll give you chances to shake it off.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
can
yeah,
make courage rolls later. But for now, your will is diminished, and therefore your desire,
resolve and your endurance.
desire to fight is diminished too.
Yeah. I feel like Aurelius sees this and he acknowledges it, but he doesn't quite care. Not through lack of empathy, but through this like, yes, this person is scared. We still need to get to Rasine.
They're going to have to suck it up.
Yeah, like it doesn't change the cold hard fact. Like
Yeah.
every step he takes, every like mark he puts onto a wall, and now seeing marks upon the floor, he is getting closer and closer. 30 years has become 1 week, has become 1 day, has become possibly minutes.
Barely affects my character, honestly.
Yeah, that's okay.
What a flex.
It's not a massive penalty.
No,
it's
not. Let's
a wavering of your resolve.
Yeah.
It's not outright panic
It's just the number system that this game has.
because it works on averages.
Well,
to
because
reduce
it
those
rolls.
things.
If you have a 15, it'll drop you down to 14.
Yeah, yeah.
And in this case, it's dropped me from like a 14 to a 13, which is the same score.
Yep.
Sorry, it's dropped me from a 15 to a 14. So it's
But
the
you
same
know,
score.
in negative, anything you roll off your will now, such as more courage checks,
Yeah.
resist
Yeah.
magics.
You didn't want to attack my resolve?
So your resolve is used for verbal combats.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't. You don't have that. You're not using that resource right now. Don't try and weasel out of it. So you follow
stinker.
you follow the path of runes.
He turns back on his heels and he continues forward, following the light of the runes and continuing down the path.
Bryok nervously follows.
After about 30 paces, you pass through another portal into a portal in the sense of a large doorway.
Yes, I had questions about that.
Sorry,
I
not
was
a
literally going through, because we're in the Witcher world.
Not a magical portal, just a romantic word for a door into a vaulted chamber. About, from the dim light of your lantern, you think it's about 20 meters across, squared.
Yep.
It's a square room, 20 meters across, and its ceilings extend high overhead. And against the walls are carved recesses with bodies or coffins in each. The runes split here, not onto two different paths, but they mark a walkway down the center of this room, about 5 meters wide. And they pepper the stonework either side with a barely perceptible shimmer in the air above them.
So there is a pathway on either side of the pathway.
It's runes.
Runes. Are they differing in their shape?
They are slightly different runes, yes.
Great. He definitely is going to be taking a closer look and trying to deduce
Yes.
what these are, because he is not going to fuck with Rasine.
I would like a
Magic training.
magic training and an awareness from both of you.
I'll do the magic training first.
Mm-hmm.
Are runes typically written any type of language?
Yes, I don't know. They're Elder Speech. They're in Elder Speech, yes.
So I could read them?
Do you know Elder Speech? Sure, probably.
Cool.
Yeah, I think the runes are long lost magics.
Okay.
So if you have a rune stone that you can use to enchant a sword or something, they can't be reproduced. They can be found and
Yes.
used, but no one knows how to make them anymore because they're ancient magic. But you could possibly
hazard
a guess at what kind of word it is. Yeah.
18?
Yeah, that's good.
Aurelius kind of, as he peers and sees these runes diverge into two distinct paths, or one path, but peppered across from either side, he reaches into his chest and he grabs onto his amulet with the amethyst hour, and he looks down, and this makes a ton of sense because his magic training he rolls a 22, and his awareness he rolls an 11.
So what did you get for your awareness as well, Bryok?
15.
Okay. And so you both see the word as protection or barrier or warding, something in that vein. And Bryok sees a glowing grow from the dim recess of the room beyond the warding runes. And what you see is first a light, and then it materializes into a lantern. And behind that lantern, as it starts to cast its light, materializes an arm. And a floating figure emerges from behind the lantern, floating into corporality. And finally, there is a muffled cry that forces Aurelius to notice this creature as well, and then another. And then they throw themselves towards you, only to be stopped just mere meters away from you.
From that final rune, basically.
Where those runes form a line. A shimmering barrier prevents them from clawing at you as the rage in their dead eyes indicates they would love to do.
Well, my friend, I am very glad that these words are here.
Does it appear that the runes, like you said, it goes into the next room? Is there... What am I trying to say? Can you only enter that next room by passing into the space that is being warded off?
No, this takes you through. So it's like you could surmise that this is what she would use to come through this chamber unmolested.
Yeah.
So you could...
I might be imagining this wrong then, because I imagine like...
Sean, I think it's the wall runes.
Yeah, it takes you straight through the center of a room that
Correct. I was imagining
expands
the
to either
opposite.
side of
I was
you.
imagining the opposite. They were coming through the middle, and then we would go around. So I was...
No.
yeah.
The path laid out in the runes
is what is blocking from the outside.
Bisects the room and prevents the wraiths from coming from their coffins and places of angry rest to pull aside your sinews and your flesh.
I don't think this needs to be said, but please don't stick your hand in or feed the wraiths.
You're right. Didn't need to be said. Appreciate the comment.
Eyes forward. Pay them no heed. Are you ready?
Nope. Let's go.
Head forward.
They crawl along, following you, bashing against the barrier as you walk through. And
Can we hear them?
it's muffled, but
Yeah.
yes, you can. And when you reach the halfway point of the room, one of the lanterns is shoved with enough force against the barrier that it parts for a moment. And the lantern forces its way through. And then a tattered hand claws into the gap next to it, pulls a hole, and it forces its head through. And I will need initiative as the wraith pulls itself into this corridor where you're standing.
Beautiful.
Roll to Cast The Blood-Soaked Rose is a Baby Beard Media production. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. All our podcasts are on Spreaker, Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/babybeard. The Witcher tabletop role-playing game is property of our Talsorian Games, used with permission.
Previously. And now.
And remember, it's previously on the...
Oh, fuck.